Can you really etch glass and ceramics without special equipment?
Ha! Does Barbie have a plastic fanny?
Yes, we can. Welcome, friends. I'm feeling a little bit ornery tonight. You don't have to own a Cricut to do etching. We can use these templates and these supplies right here. Let's get started. Here's a couple of examples. This one's using stickers with a colorant on top, and this one is a stencil on top of a glitter ornament. If you'd like to check out our glitter ornaments to see how to do the inside, click in the upper right-hand corner. It will take you to show you that process. The first step is to clean your surface with rubbing alcohol. I like to apply the 91% solution with a cloth or a cotton ball. This is extremely important. Without this step, the etching will not stick well. Even though I won't show this for all the projects, I do this every time before I add a stencil. I'm going to let this dry completely before I go on to the next step. Now I'll add my stencils. You can buy these ready-made templates that are reusable. These are by Armor products. They're flexible, so they will stick to round surfaces. And there are a variety of them ranging from nature to special events and holidays. I'm going to make a little Santa Claus scene. They're very sticky, so you want to be careful taking this off so that it does not tear your stencils. I'll start in the center and gingerly start to press down around each image. And I want to make sure I get any air bubbles out. I'd rather keep the air bubble right there. As long as I tape it at the top, nothing will get underneath it. I'll pull some of these off and we'll start to add these at the bottom. Since a lot of my templates are close to the edge, I'll take a little bit of this tape and I'll start to tape in around it. Now I have my gloves and goggles on and I'm ready to etch. I'm brushing Armor Etch on fairly thick. I want to make sure it's built up enough, but not too much. The most important part is making sure I get all those edges. Get those little nooks and crannies. I'm scrubbing it in there to make sure it's completely covered. Once I complete the front side and a little bit on the sides, I need to let this dry for a while. In contrast to what the bottle says, which is to wait 1 to 3 minutes, most people let theirs dry 10 to 20 minutes. I'm going to shoot for 15 on this. So I'll set my timer for 15 minutes and I'll be back.
Your time is up.
Now I can take some of this excess off and place it back in here and use it in the future. It doesn't take much etching to do one project. By the way, Armor House meant more for smaller projects and not larger areas. I'll keep the tape and stencils on both sides while I etch and rinse each side separately. We'll turn on the water and begin to wash it off. You won't see anything right now. It has to dry. It'll be a subtle image. If you want to add color to it to make it more bold, I'll show you how to do that. Now I'm taking off the stickers and I'll place them back on my sheet so I can use them later. And I'll reuse some of these so you can see how they work using them a second time. You can see how it looks at this point. I'll let this dry and move on to the blue bottle, which is the easiest project. When working with a color glass, you want to make sure the color goes all the way through, otherwise this will not work. I'll be using all 6 of these large hearts along with 15 small snowflakes.
I'll take it from here, Barbie. Wipe it. Stick it. Dress it. Tape it. Edge it. Time it. Rinse it. Peel it. Wipe it.
Thanks, Two Men. Enough of that. Alrighty, let's do the cup here. If there looks like there's some places where the etching hasn't taken place, wash it off thoroughly, dry it off, add a little bit more alcohol, wait for it to dry, and then apply another coat of etching. When I'm doing this on the glass, I do have one area where it's going up here on the side. If I decide to add color, I would fade it out and I wouldn't add the Rub and Buff up in here. That's what we'll use to color it. Don't add it up here where the mouth is because it will wear off after washing it. Rub and Buff is not made for washing it in the dishwasher. It can't handle high temperatures. Therefore, if you do decide to use the Rub and Buff on your cup, you want to wash it by hand with hot water and soap. If the color disappears, you can always reapply it with Rub and Buff. I'll reuse the tree template 10 to 20 times so that I can elongate my trees from the top to the bottom of the cup and to continue the trees around the cup until it's slightly covering Santa Claus. I drink with my right hand, so I want Santa Claus to be facing me and the trees to be on the other side. So it looks like two different cups with two different perspectives, depending on how you look at it. If I were left-handed, I would apply the stencils on the other side of the handle. Let's look at the finished etch surface prior to adding the Rub and Buff. Here's what we have so far, and it's time to add the Rub and Buff. Amico Rub and Buff is a wax that is available in these colors, and it's super easy to apply. Well, you may want to use gloves. I like to use my finger. I just put a little bit on my fingertip and start to rub it in. Unlike using Armor Edge, we want to wipe this off right away. Otherwise, it'll be harder to remove. You can remove it dry while it's still fresh. If it's hard to remove, you could dip your napkin or Q-tip in a little water. It takes about 24 hours for a Rub and Buff to dry. Even after it dries, you can still remove some leftover residue by just dipping a napkin in a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I use these techniques on drinkware to prevent lips from coming in contact with the wax. I let this set for about 12 to 24 hours. Now I can go over it with rubbing alcohol and clean it up well. Afterwards, I'll wash it with soap and water too. And it cleans up pretty well like this. I can even go over my design and clean it up a little bit. I decided that this was a little too stark for my taste, so I started adding a little bit of an antique gold to the very bottom parts of the heart only. I squirt very little bit on my finger, like this. Now on to the really fun part. I will show how to add color flock to the inside, and it's really quick and easy. Snow flock looks like this. It's the same flock that's used to flock a tree. You can look in the upper right-hand corner to see a video on how we mixed our colors. I think we had a little too much fun in that video, yet it's a good place to figure out how to mix your own colors. I mixed the self-adhesive flocking in with color powdered tempera paint. Most of the colors can be mixed with the primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, plus black. The first step you need is a spray bottle and your pre-mixed colors, and I place them in a condiment container that has a lid on it. I pre-mix my colors in these little jars and I label them to track what I'm using. So I'm using a blue, a little pinkish mixture color, along with a midnight blue. And I'm going to start off with the blue here. I'm spraying a little water inside, and then I'll stick the tip inside and just puff. Look, it starts to fill in places here. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of pink, so I have a little color there, and then I'll finish it off with the black. Let's do a little bit more on the back here. There. Ugh, that's pretty. Wouldn't it be fun to create the Aurora Borealis this way? My spray was a little heavy. It would be better on the light spray when doing this. Here's our final projects. I thought it'd be fun to show these outside in the sun while listening to our little review ditty. Hit it, homie.
Wipe it. Stick it. Dress it. Tape it. Edge it. Time it. Rinse it. Peel it. Wipe it.
As always, I wish you well, my dear friends.